Okay. Today has been probably one of the worst days I've had in a while. First and foremost, you may notice that I'm not using my $120 microphone because I'm lazy, but also it's charging my GPS right now because somebody broke into my Jeep and stole my phone. They didn't steal my wallet, they didn't steal my 2 iPods that were there, they just stole the phone. Fuck you, you half-assed piece of shit. So, whatever. I've already ordered a new one. It cost me $100 as opposed to $400 or $500, which is what the phone costs now. I'll have it in 2 to 3 days. 2 days, hopefully. As in not tomorrow, but on Thursday. I slammed my my hand in the door of the mail truck today. And, oh, the mail was super heavy because of the storm yesterday. We ended early, so not only did we have half of the mail from yesterday, we also had the mail from today, which was significantly heavy. But that's not what concerns me. Fuck the phone. Heck with the mail. It was a day. Whatever. I have read recently from numerous different sites that Hollywood, in its infinite wisdom, have spoken to many people, if you will, about remaking and reimagining Back to the Future. Back to the Future. Okay. Those of you that know me, and I'm a huge science fiction fan. I appreciate films for what they are and what they stand for in this world that we live in nowadays, and so on. No. No. You don't need to remake or reimagine Indiana Jones. You don't need to remake or reimagine the Terminator series. You can maybe get one more movie out of it, but not reimagine it. And you certainly do not need to remake, reimagine, or redefine Back to the Future. Period. This literally angers me because the original Back to the Future is not only a childhood film, which I grew up on. Quick backstory, I first saw the original Back to the Future. Let me pause this real quick. I had to cut there, sorry. I had to check and make sure everything was working. I first saw Back to the Future when my parents were out playing poker, cards, with our neighbors a few houses down back when we lived in Mashpee. They used to do this every Saturday night, and I would stay home or go to the friend's house and watch movies. Well, my parents, at some point, I don't know when, I don't know if it was for me or not, but they recorded HBO. Back when HBO was kind of first starting out. I mean, I don't know the exact year, but I remember the video showing a... I'm going to Google this right now, live, just for you. Hold on. Tom Skerritt, Space Camp. What is the name of this movie? It's called Space Camp. Go figure. I was going to call it that, too. The first movie was Space Camp, which is about a group of kids who were attending space camp, which is and was a NASA thing, where kids and young adults could go and learn about NASA and space exploration and how astronauts work in zero gravity and all cool shit that I would love to do, but they don't do it anymore, to my knowledge. And then the second movie, which I remember to this day, they were proudly saying this is the first time you can see it at home without renting a cassette, Back to the Future, and I watched the shit out of that movie. I love Back to the Future. I love the characters, I love the directing, I love the soundtrack. Everything about the movie I absolutely love. Who doesn't know 1.21 gigawatts? Who doesn't know the DeLorean time machine? Who doesn't know Marty McFly and his mom and George McFly and Biff? One of the best assholes of any movie ever made. You don't need to remake this movie! Why? Give me three solid reasons why you, Hollywood studios, whoever makes movies, could want to possibly remake Zemeckis' great film series. You can't get Michael J. Fox, who was great and is timeless as Marty McFly, and more importantly, you can't get Christopher Lloyd as Dr. Brown. Period. Just like I said before with Jaws, you may find somebody who can replace Brody. You may find somebody who can replace Hooper. You will never find anybody able to replace Quint, aka Robert Shaw. You will never find anybody to replace Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown. His dedication to the character, his wit, his quickness, just the way he moves and talks. I'm not a movie reviewer. I haven't seen every movie ever made. I've seen a lot of movies, but this is kind of steering away. What makes Back to the Future, in my opinion, so timeless is that it's so simple. You have a teenager, basically he's supposed to be in the film, who loves a girl, wants to express his love, is a member of a band, wants to get his music known, isn't working out so well. His home life kind of sucks. His parents are, well, below average in the movie, but average, if you will. And he knows this brilliant scientist. And as they say, the rest is history. You know, the Libyans attack, and he goes back in time by accident. Has to meet the younger Doc Brown. I mean, you've seen the movie. If you haven't seen Back to the Future and you're watching this, I will fucking mail you a copy of the movie. Seriously. If you haven't seen at least the first Back to the Future, come on. The score by Alan Silvestri alone is one of the greatest soundtracks, at least, or one of the greatest movie themes of all time. The special effects used throughout the trilogy still stand the test of time. I love the idea of the second film where they expand on the universe of Hill Valley and how in the future you have characters that mimic the characters from the first film, you know, from the 50s and then the 80s and then 2015, which, my god, 2015 is almost 2 years away, 2.5 years or so. You do not need to remake this movie, period. Those of you that are subscribed to me, you have seen my video critique of the Christmas Story sequel. This is worse. I don't know the exact details. I don't know if it's being made or not. As far as I know right now, it's just rumors. In fact, let me click on the link that somebody sent me. Yes, it's been in the works for a while now. Yet, no. Sorry. If they, literally, I saw Judge Dredd, which wasn't a remake, it was a reimagining, and I guess according to the comics, and in general, I saw it. The movie was great. Total Recall, the remake, total letdown. If they remake Back to the Future, I will never see it. I don't care if it's hailed as the greatest movie of all time. It won't be. It will never be hailed that high. And as far as I'm concerned, anything when it comes to Back to the Future that's not the original trilogy, the television show, and the spin-off comic series, and the soundtrack, fuck it. I hate to be that crude about it, but I mean, if you have seen the 3 films and appreciate cinema for what it is, you know what I'm talking about when I say that Back to the Future, the series, the trilogy, is one of the best movie series, one of the greatest movie series of all time, and in this movie, viewer's opinion, will stand the test of time long after I have shuffled off this mortal coil, if we last that long. Anyway, this is BSG Trek Fan 88 for a quick rant here. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Have a good night.